How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. We're going to be talking about the new Robbie Williams biopic, Better Man. The film is told in a very unique way in which you have Robbie Williams playing himself as a CGI monkey, and when the trailer for this movie first dropped, I had no idea what to expect out of this movie because it just looks so weird, so out there. I wasn't sure if this gimmick was going to work for the full 2 hours, but you attach the director of The Greatest Showman to this movie, I'm automatically going to be very interested because I really love what he did with that movie. Plus, I'm also a very big fan of musical biopics. Even though they have the same formula, I still really enjoy a good biopic when it's done well. And since I'm not really familiar with Robbie Williams, so this was going to be my first exposure not only to his music but to his life story, and I enjoyed this movie a lot more than I thought I was going to. Even though this movie still has the same story beats that you've seen in every musical biopic, you have the prodigy child that dreams of being a star, then they get their big break, falls into drugs, and then we have to overcome that by seeing the error of their ways. That's exactly what you get with Better Man. But what I feel like makes this movie a little bit more unique than all the other films is the fact that you do have this gimmick of Robbie Williams as a CGI monkey, and that element of this movie just took me a little while for me to get used to it. But once we get into the story, you start to see what his childhood was like, what it was like for him in a boy band, and then him going solo, his relationship with his girlfriend slash wife, seeing all that turmoil. You start getting used to the whole gimmick of Robbie Williams as a monkey, and it starts to feel like second nature. You barely even notice it, that when you go back to look at previous videos of Robbie Williams, you do kind of forget that he isn't an ape. So on that aspect, I thought the whole gimmick of Robbie Williams being an ape, I thought worked for me. It didn't take me out of the movie as much as I thought it was going to, because it just blends right into the background and you're just in for the ride. If you are locked into the story, then the CGI monkey isn't going to distract you, but if you're not into the story, that is going to be one of the distracting factors of this movie. But the thing that really made me appreciate this movie so much more is the fact that this movie felt raw. It felt real. It felt like Robbie Williams didn't need to sugarcoat his life. He was dealing with a lot of demons when it came down to his mental health, when it came down to his drug addiction, and I really love the fact that he did not shy away from that. He showed us that he was fighting with his demons, and just the visual aspects of how that is being told, I just really enjoyed that, and it just felt like this was a therapeutic session for him. It was him trying to get everything out of his chest and put it into this film, that you do start to feel bad for him. You see all of his struggles of what he went through, of when he was in a boy band and he just felt like the outcast, because you had the lead singer that was the writer and he was just a backup vocal just like the other boys in the band, and so he never felt like he belonged in that band. Plus he had a dickhead of a manager. Then once he's able to break free, he still has his demons, he's still battling his drug addiction, and that just made me appreciate this movie so much more, because we've seen many musical biopics where sometimes it just felt like they were sugarcoating it so it doesn't seem as bad, and that is not what you really get with Better Man. It's more of a reflection of his life, how he overcame his addiction, his relationship with his nana and his mom when his dad abandoned them, and it was just him, his mom, and his nana having to survive together, his mom trying to help him achieve his dreams. It just felt so raw and real, and that's something that I really appreciated about this movie. Plus it also has a really nice visual flair to it. There are a couple of musical sequences here and there that I thought was absolutely beautiful to see. The music in here I thought fit whenever it needed. It's a really heartwarming story of this guy trying to find his place, trying to make it into the business that he wants to, and seeing how much of that turmoil actually hit him. And I really appreciated the fact that it didn't need to sugarcoat anything. It was raw, it was real, and I think that is one of the biggest surprising factors of this movie. And I ultimately came out with a huge smile on my face. There were moments in this movie when I was just tearing up. The cinematography for this movie is absolutely beautiful. The way that the musical aspects of this movie work, it just feels so magical and beautiful that I just came out really enjoying this way more than I thought I was going to. Those are my thoughts on Better Man. Have you guys checked it out? Are you planning on checking this film out? Go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll catch you guys for the next video.